Thanks for staying with us. So today on Let's Talk segment, we will be joined by Senator Tokunbo Abiru, representing Lagos East Senatorial District and serving as chairman of the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions. Senator Abiru is the distinguished lawmaker who sponsored the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Bill recently assented to by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He will be shedding light on the intended impact of this landmark legislation, which is set to transform Nigeria's financial sector and accelerate the nation's march towards $1 trillion economy. Beyond the bill, Senator Abiru will also use the opportunity to present his account of stewardship, highlighting his legislative achievements, constituency interventions, and ongoing contributions to national development. This promises to be an insightful and engaging conversation, so stick around. Welcome, Senator Abiru. You're welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much, Lisi.
Yes.
Damilola.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome, sir. So, Senator, tell us the primary motivation behind sponsoring the Nigerian Insurance Industry Reform Bill, and why was it so important at this time?
Thank you very much. My interviewers, BC,
Damilola,
Ramotu, and Yeni. Thank you very much. And again, thank you very much, viewers. Good morning. Let me start by saying that I would first like to acknowledge the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, that's His Excellency Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, for actually assenting to the bill, because it's a private member bill. And of course, again, I must also acknowledge the President of the Nigerian Senate, and of course, the leadership of Senate, and my committee members as well, because we all came together to do this. And also, I must extend the same courtesy to the members of House of Reps, starting from the Speaker and of course the leadership of the House of Reps, because again, before you can get any bill assented to, of course, you need the concurrence of the two houses. So I must extend my courtesies to them for that support. Having said that, the whole idea of the bill essentially is actually to complement the ongoing reforms of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. As we all know, we have witnessed several reforms, both directly in the economy and of course in selected certain sectors of the economy. And if you look at, and I'll give you an example, the Bank of Agriculture in the financial services space. So when you look at the Bank of Agriculture, there is a proposal to recapitalize it, and of course, again, the Bank of Industry. And as such, it also stands to reason that we mustn't leave the insurance industry out of these reforms. Yeah. So the whole idea is to complement that effort in one breath. And more importantly, again, because most of the laws that governs our insurance business up until the reform bill was assented to, they are all outdated. For example, some maybe like, way back 20 years, that's if you look at the Insurance Act. Then if you look at the Motor Vehicle Insurance Act as well, it dates back to 1945. And I'm sure you will agree there is the need for a comprehensive review of all of these pieces of legislation. And the fact again that most of the laws governing our insurance business, be it the Insurance Act, the Motor Vehicle Insurance Act, or what is called the Nikon Act, and the other one is, again, the Marine Insurance Act. They are all more or less obsolete now. And the realities of today and also all of the contemporary issues of today has kind of outpaced them. So the need is just apparent that we needed to overhaul the entire laws governing our insurance business. Okay,
but for the ordinary Nigerian out there who thinks that, okay, this is a good idea, how does it benefit them in simple terms? How does it make life better for the ordinary Nigerians?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Like me.
Like
me too.
Like
Damilola.
Okay, so part of what this has done is also to simplify all of the pieces of legislation, because they are all fragmented. So it's like to consolidate all of them under one document, under one law, governing the entire sector. And again, to bring about what I can call effectiveness and efficiency So, i.e., the law is further strengthened to make sure that claims are paid as and when due. That's one. Then two, to also strengthen the regulator, just like the way you have the banking sector is. You know, you have the operators in the banks, and of course the CBN, and of course we can see a lot of vibrancy in that sector. We also need to have such arrangement under the insurance sector. But let me also, just to drive it home again, is that this particular law has brought about some protection for insurance users. I.e., you have what we call insurance, the insured protection fund, which hitherto never existed. So it's to guard against the incidence of insolvency of any insurance company, so that the insured doesn't suffer. So that protection fund is specialized for this purpose.
Okay, I was going to, sorry, Ramat, I was just going to ask this question. You know, like, for instance, when I got my car was a gift. I insured it. I didn't do third party, I did full comprehensive. But every year, because the Naira has depreciated, every year now my insurance gets more. Yes. So when I first got it, I was paying 200,000-300,000 for comprehensive. This year they say I should pay 600,000. I shouted. I said,
that's a lot.
They say because that same car is worth this amount. I said, but that's not the amount that if I don't pay it,
it won't be insured.
If anything happens to my car, I don't think ever happens to my car. But I keep on paying the insurance company. How will this law protect me and us?
So it's also part of what the law has set out to do. Okay. So what the law has set out to do is also to ensure that the practitioners, those are the operators too, that let me just put it in very simple terms, is also to make the capital requirements, supporting them, supporting the operations of their business to be risk-based, which is what you are speaking to. So there is a minimum threshold, and of course there is a risk-based arrangement as well. What that means is that, you know, as their risk profile, you know, becomes bigger, just like the way I would say the devaluation that we have witnessed in the country has affected almost everything we do, which speaks to why, you know, the premium you pay is a function of the value of the car. So the value of the car would have gone up now. Wow. But the insurance companies today, too, their capital requirement too has also been, you know, increased to create the kind of coverage for people like you, so that in the unlikely event of an incident, they will be able to, pay you the appropriate premium for what you have been paying as your insurance.
So will I still be paying that 600,000?
Oh yes, you have to be paying. Just to protect your car.
But that's the value of a new car.
Yeah.
But she's used her car for years. Shouldn't they be, you know, making it based on the value of if she has to sell her car now?
Well, that option is yours, but the reality is that, you know, if you base it on the historical amount, that is historical value, which is what is, it is called in accounting. You know, the truth is that if anything happens today, you and I know that, of course, that historical value cannot get you in the car.
Get you.
So are you not better off, you know, using today's value?
But since I've been paying I've been paying the value every year. As it's going up, I've been paying it. Shouldn't, and I have not been claiming, shouldn't there be a time that you can regulate them, say, come, this is a good customer. Bring that premium down.
I don't think insurance business
and give us something to make us
professional arrangement, and it is a function of what you put in, and of course, and it is, we just don't pray for any incident to happen. But in the event, the unlikely event, you probably will get properly compensated.
Okay, so many people don't trust insurance because claims take forever. Okay. How will this law make sure people get their money faster when they need it? I know a lot of people who that kind of thing has happened to, and for the insurance to come in, it takes a long time. So how do we?
Okay, thank you, Ramon. So part of what the law has done as well, again, is to strengthen the position of the regulator, NICOM. Okay, and that by strengthening, of course, it has also looked into all of the incidences of default and put appropriate penalties. You know, some in terms of claims, you know, within specified period, claims must be met. And also, I said earlier, in the case of an insolvent insurance company that you probably had engaged in. Okay, if anything happens, the insurance protection fund will compensate you. Those are part of the what package. I can call the circuit breakers that have been put into this law. Then if you look at the motor vehicle as well, part of what has also been embedded in the law is what is called the road accident compulsory fund. So that again, to God forbid, for you know what's it called, hit and run vehicles, or people who are not even insured. You know, if they should run anybody down, or you know, anyone that gets any form of incident out of a road traffic arrangement will be compensated from that road accident insurance compulsory fund.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We'll be taking a short break now. When we come back, stay with us. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. We still have Senator Tokunbo Abiru and still talking about insurance. Now, Nigerians always feel that insurance is for rich people. Now, many middle-class, poor people don't even bother to get any form of insurance. How will this law make it easy for them to be involved?
Thank you. I think that part of what this legislation has done, or this law now, because once it is assented to by the president, it becomes an act of the act. Now, is that you know, the way it's been structured, it's been done in a manner that it provides for every level of category of people in the society. So you might, some might say today that the new law has prescribed very high capital requirements. But like I said earlier, they're all risk-based. It's based on the risk you are taking and the risk of business that you're doing. So it also has empowered the supervisory body, which is NICOM, Nigerian Insurance Commission, to also issue guidelines and also guide the operations of the sector, i.e. micro insurance institutions are encouraged.
Okay.
Takafu, that's what they call in the Islamic way, is also encouraged. So they take care of those micro, small, medium enterprises as well.
Okay. So everybody at their level.
Exactly. So it depends on the level that you belong. Okay. So you are catered for.
Okay.
I'm really curious at this point. In your role as chairman of the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance and Other Financial Institutions, what would you say are the key reforms or oversights that you have led that impact Nigerians every day, that impact the life of Nigerians every day? Please just give us your resume.
Okay, I think I can lay claims to insurance as one of them.
Okay,
brilliant.
Yes, that's one. Then equally, we are also in the process of finalizing the NDIC reform bill as well. I don't know whether you've been following some of the things that have been going on in the social media about NDIC's law and all of that. That is also being addressed. Then equally, there is another bill that we are also pushing, which actually will also undo part of the financing requirement of the micro, small, and medium enterprises. So it's called factoring, assignments, and receivables. It's also a way of making, access to credit a lot easier to also micro, small, and medium enterprises. That's another bill we are working on. The other one too, which is also complementary to the reform agenda of the federal government, is the Nigerian Export-Import Bank, NEXIM. Because in all of the reforms that we have seen so far, I think that there is no way NEXIM should be left out. The law guiding NEXIM today dates back to 1991. So you can just imagine how obsolete and outdated that law is. Yeah. So as we speak, it's passed through the first reading, it's passed through the second reading. So as we resume now from recess, we probably will be going to the public hearing. And I must underscore, you see, you don't want to be an economy that wants to grow into 1 trillion and you leave your export business behind.
How do you get there?
Exactly. So if you look, for example, if you look at the capital requirements or the capital position of NEXIM today, it dates back to 1991. And it was pegged at 50 billion. So you can imagine what 50 billion can do in an economy that aspires to grow to 1 trillion. So those are part of the things we're doing to make sure we complement the efforts of Mr. President in terms of his renewed hope agenda, and also bring a lot of support to Nigerian businesses.
Okay, so in the...
Oh, go on.
Okay, so, you know, in everything we do, we must put all Nigerians into perspective. So I'll talk about the people in the rural areas.
Yes.
So what are the plans of the government to make sure that insurance is accessible and cheap for them?
Okay.
No plans.
Okay, so I've spoken about the micro insurance, and I've spoken about Takafo. You see, all of those are meant for the people, the small businesses. And you know, part of where you find them are in the rural areas. You understand? So that, I believe very strongly, will take care of them. And of course, if you also look at some of the features of this law again, is also to make access, it's discussed, it's described as the redistribution model for the insurance business. That's when you look at the value chain. So you are now allowing the likes of what they call electronic payments, electronic claims, you know, to be part of the value chain of insurance business. Okay. So by so doing, you bring in what's it called, they call them fintechs. You know, and they have a way of penetrating all of these areas, and the insurtech. So by the time you bring technology in, you know, it will also complement all of the efforts of reaching all of the nooks and crannies of the country. Okay.
I'm wondering about the rural areas. Okay. Are they going to have?
So, okay. So let me. Okay. So if you have been following some of the reform agenda of this current administration, part of what they are about to embark upon today is the fiber opticing of over 90,000 kilometers of the entire Nigerian landscape. So that is to bring about fast internet, and also put towers, just like you have in the urban centers, to put it in also those remote areas where the telecoms will not go. By the time you put all of that there, they will complement all of these efforts that we are talking about. So whether you're an agri-peasant farmer or you're an healthcare person working in the remote areas, access to financial, so the inclusion, you can see how that will come together.
Yes. How will this law help create jobs for Nigerians and grow the Nigerian economy?
Okay, so well, that's very well. I think it derives from everything that I've said, but I'll also simplify. Number one, with the increased capital of the business, that means the size of business will grow bigger. By the efficiency that you are bringing about, you know, and all of the protection you are bringing. So let me, as an example, if you look at the protection funds that are being put in place, I talked about the Road Accident Emergency Fund. You know, the funding of that fund derives from the premiums that is being paid to the insurance company. So, and from that pool, there is compensation for all of the actors that will manage the fund, i.e. whether you are talking of road safety, i.e. the police. Do you understand? To support their operations. Then if you also look, so all of this will engender growth and create jobs, certainly.
Yeah, so if you compare Nigeria to other countries, especially African countries, you'll find that Nigeria is still very low when it comes to insurance. Is there any plan to maybe sensitize the people more to understand the values of insuring their properties, their businesses, their lives, and all of that?
Thank you. So the first thing is to also build confidence. And all that I've said so far, there are measures of building confidence, right? Then, of course, advocacy. Now, on the part of the regulatory body, that's NICOM, of course, they've embarked on that. Now, if you also, I think the National Orientation Agency is also at the forefront of advocacy. Now, but more importantly, you need to give the buyers of insurance product confidence. And I think that is what this law is also
going to handle.
Exactly.
Okay. I'd like to come home to Lagos East. Me, I'm a proud Lagosian, so we must benefit. The indigenes in Lagos East, how would I would like to know what are the most visible things that your people in Lagos East can point out to as your achievements since you got to the Senate? And of course, we know that of course, times are rough for Nigerians. And in what ways have your efforts in the Senate helped to ease the burdens of families and small businesses in Lagos East?
In Lagos East. Wow. Thank you very much.
That's where he came out from.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you very much. Damilola, right?
Yes.
Very good. So, now, so I came on board on this assignment, just about 4 years ago. I was 2012, let's say 2021, really. So, and of course, you know the responsibilities of a senator is well defined as a legislator. So, and I, in my own situation, I have approached these responsibilities from 3 major pillars. Okay. So I have the legislative pillar, which is the traditional pillar that, okay, so in terms of that's policy influencing bills that will impact lives. And that's, I take it as my first pillar. So I'm going to speak to each pillar. Then the second pillar is the empowerment, which again, by default, Nigerians have made it a responsibility of the definition of your role. So I'm sure. But I also added another pillar based on my experience in the financial services sector, which I call my endowment. So I'll just pick each one of them and tell you how they are impacting on lives. So if you take the legislative, I can tell you that even in the 9th Senate, you know, I championed the Copyright Act. You know, again, you know what that...
Copyright Act.
Exactly. Yeah, under Buhari. So, and I know that it is also to impact on all of the celebrities that we have, the creatives and all of that.
I've heard about that Copyright Act.
That's one. Then, of course, again, when you look at my constituency, just like Damilola is insisting, so there was there was a motion that addressed the issue around Ikorodu-Shagamu Road. If you are conversant with that road, Ikorodu, Itoiki, Ekpe Road. And if you can tell today, you can see a lot of improvement based on those motions. You understand? We're not.
That's Ekpe Road that leads you to Ijebu.
Yes. So it is not yet ruled, right? But again, you can see. Yes, you can see.
I drove there.
Yeah, you can see a lot of at least convenience. I mean, the journey time, which should be about 4 hours under the Ikorodu Itoiki, is under 1 hour today. And of course, the plan, and that is just standard. Stabilizing the road. But again, the full rehabilitation is still in the works. That's so speaking to
your achievements.
Okay. Now, if you talk about the empowerment. Empowerment, of course, my take on empowerment is from 4 different angles: education, health, and socio-economic activities, and road infrastructure. So, I mean, I can proudly say that in terms of education, I probably in the last 4 years will have built about 20 different primaries and secondary schools across the entire district. Yes. Now, in health, I've been able to do about 40 beds of primary health center, either at Isiu in Ikorodu North or in Mascara in Agboiketu, and another 40 bed in Lagos State University of Science and Technology, and a dental center. That's in Ikorodu as well. And the fourth one, I think the fourth one is within the district as well. That is speaking to health. Now, in the area of sports or other socio-economic development, because of the talents that are inherent in our youth as well, I built mini stadia. In Ekwe, there's a 960 capacity stadium there. That's been done since about,
60 what?
960 capacity stadium. Yeah, mini stadium. There is about, in Imota, there's another 500 capacity. And Ijeda and a couple of other places. That's speaking to that. And of course, again, when you go to Ekpe again, there is the famous Uluwo fish market. The modernization you see there today was my handiwork. So yes, and that was done in 2023, if I'm correct. So we've done all of that. So
you're from Ekpe?
I'm from Ikorodu.
Okay.
But the senatorial district
and of course, there are different road construction that is also ongoing. And of course, because of part of what you said, because of the reality of our time, I also do a food distribution just to support the vulnerable members of society. And I do that twice in a year. And each cycle covers about 10,000 families. You can cross-check. I've done it, so I can
personally, this is in your personal capacity.
As a
senator. So I'll put it this way. Okay. All of the ones I said earlier, from the constituency projects.
The district pillar?
Yes. Yes, that's the second pillar. But the food distribution is from my personal resources.
Wow.
Now, if I now go to the third pillar, which actually is just my joy any day, is done under a foundation that I believe that I hold society in terms of giving back. So under that, I, because of my background, and I've seen how the world has transformed in terms of technology. So in partnership with my wife, you know, we are both a sole sponsor of what is called the SAIL Innovation Lab. I don't know whether you heard about it. So essentially what that is to also help a lot of our young folks who are, I mean, in terms of making them to be better competitive and also to have a very good angle of the way the world has transformed in terms of innovation and technology. Okay. And now, I would like, if it is convenient for you, or to come and have a look at what that center is. I mean, it's a center that any young person would like to be. And what we do there is actually expose them to innovation and technology, which is the way the world has transformed.
How many children can go there? Because the news report yesterday has nothing to do with you, but was saying that most of the students that come out of our universities here are not tech savvy,
which is exactly what I had seen ever since I came on board. So we've been at the forefront of this since 2022, right? Now, we're not just setting up for the sake of setting it up, just, I mean, you'll have computers, no. So purposely built.
Okay.
So that, and also very inspirational.
Okay.
So it's a place you would like to go.
Okay.
So, and it has all of the facilities you can think
Where
of.
is it? How about manpower?
I'll explain. So when you look at the ambience, it is a place the young mind will want to go in the morning.
Would flourish.
So, and you get in there, it's fully air conditioned, and of course with fast internet 24/7.
Is it free?
I'll get to it.
He's
now,
getting the extra.
I haven't said that, you know, and I like the question that you posed.
Manpower,
So in terms of, because I also realized that it's not about just setting up that structure, it's also by complementing it properly. So we also have a dedicated faculty that teaches full-time, and they have the ownership. And that company is called Co-Creation Hub, which is a renowned social capital and entrepreneurial company that uses technology to drive economic growth. So that is their specialty. They are not only local to Nigeria, they are represented in Kigali, in England, and South Africa, just to let you know the quality of faculty. Okay. So they take charge of that environment. So today, I can proudly tell you that we probably will have touched young lives close to about 1,900. And even teachers, maybe about 6,000. And the way we do it is that, look, there are, you know, prescribed courses that you go through, and typically when you come into that facility, you spend average of 6 months, and it is free. You don't have to pay.
Wow. That's what I want to...
Yeah, that is free, because, and I don't know why you deliberately ask that question, because I can also tell you that there are other centers in urban Lagos that provide similar service, but if you go there, per 6 months you pay, but per participant is about 5 million naira. Yeah. Wow. Just for you to know the quality.
Tech is expensive.
So can I, for the sake of our viewers, any young person now who is watching us now and they want to go there, they can't just walk in.
So of course, because number one, this is quality.
Because you know we like free things.
I know, but there's a price for even what is free. So it can be compliance. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what we do is that we don't influence anybody coming there. So what we typically do, and it's not done by me, it's done by the faculty. So there is a requirement that they put on the web. So if you go to the SAIL website, anytime they need to bring in new set of people, they advertise. And typically, you find about 7,000-8,000 people applying. Yes. Wow. So just to tell you that it's great thing, and it's getting some traction. So now from there, you now begin to do the assessment. So you have to do assessment. Because you see, it's about being serious-minded. Exactly. Because you cannot come in and waste the time of people who are interested in doing it.
Sorry, I just have to ask this. How are you going to, since it's free, how are you going to maintain the quality?
So for now, like I started by saying that it's funded directly from my wallet and that of my wife. And is what we have chosen to give back.
That's your passion project.
Exactly. No, passion for the future, because the future is here already. You understand? But however, we also recognize the need for sustainability. So you have to run it very effectively and very proficiently before people, and I can tell, and I'll hold up, that we are beginning to see those who are seeing value in what we are doing, and they are supporting. So, for example, MTN partnered with us last year to train about 4,000 teachers across the country. So this year alone, they have also offered to do another 5,000. So it tells you that what we're doing makes sense. And you know, for me, I personally haven't even stopped there. So I have extended that kind of resource to my own secondary school, because I went to a public secondary school. So if you go to Government College Surulere today, you will see a mini version, and you will also see the young people that we're trying to impact on.
Of that tech hub.
Yeah, that tech hub. So you find it, that it's called the GCL STEM Lab. So, you know, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So because, again, it is better you introduce all of these to people before they get into the university level. So that is what we have done there. And again, there's also another opportunity to, I mean, some people will have asked me, is it because you are from Ikorodu that you have situated it in Ikorodu? Well, you have to start somewhere. Well, but I'm also happy to say that we are already almost completing another version in Ibejuleki that can also accommodate. The first phase will do about 150 participants. But by the time we do the second phase, we'll be taking on 500 people.
Wow.
Yes, that's huge. Because we think that is the real value that we need to give to the upcoming generation.
The value of inheritance.
We talked about value.
So this is very big. Like, okay, so from here now, in the coming months, what should your constituents, what should they expect more? You've done this, yes, we
applaud you.
We applaud you very
So, but the thing is, whatever I'm doing is an ongoing thing. So it's, I mean, I've just told you, by the end of, hopefully before the end of this year, we probably will be onboarding the Ibejuleki facility. I don't know whether you have the picture there. You probably,
we've seen some.
So by the time, you know, it's part of the value you are giving to them. In terms of empowerment, there's a program. I mean, I didn't even mention it. Part of what we have done to impact in terms of the issue about how we are today, or the mood of the country, is not today. You know, even during COVID, it was stressful for Nigerians. Part of what we did there was to kind of give some kind of cash support to some vulnerable members on a consistent basis for about 2 years. You understand? Now, but we have now equally, I also had a program whereby, you know, we provide loan facilities at, you know, minimum of 6% per annum interest rate through Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. They manage the fund for us. So I created a fund of 300 million naira to be accessed by a lot of my constituents. That has worked very well.
Only your constituents. Are you sure I'm not going to move to that area? Because I need a loan right now. I need a loan, Senator.
We can increase them.
I just wanted to say, you know, we have a very bad impression, especially on this table of senators. And they are always,
I hope I'm changing the narrative.
some of them, not all of us, but some of them are always yabbing senators.
But I hope I'm convincing some of them.
They want to burn our CV.
So now you are making us feel, okay, maybe some senators are
working, yes.
Yeah, you're making us.
You can verify everything I've said. Okay, you can verify.
Go and check the record.
I don't even know whether I have some of my, I issue periodic bulletins and all of that. I'll be happy to share it with you.
How long have you been a senator?
I got elected 2020 December, so started in 2021 January.
Oh, just 5 years.
Yeah, just 4 years now. Yes.
Yeah. So tell us, are there any new policies that you are looking to work on when you get back? You've been on recess for how long now? When are you guys resuming?
Okay, couple of I think the first two things that we're going to work on, I mentioned Nigerian Export-Import Bank, right? And we need to quickly tidy that up so as to make that business segment of federal government more efficient, so that it can impact on Nigerians. Equally, actually, so I also sponsor the need to investigate the Ponzi scheme. You all know all the expense of CBN. So the investigative area will also be coming on board as we, you know, because again we need to protect. We need to protect our vulnerable members of society. So those are part of what
That policy scheme is so important because so many people have been destroyed.
I know.
So take us through. You know, you've told us everything you're doing. We are proud of you. We are mesmerized. We're happy with you. And this is a senator that is working, and you have your evidence full, right? So tell us, what does it entail in the Senate to pass policies? Sometimes we hear some policies and we discuss them on the table that doesn't really make sense to the ordinary person. We're saying, how did they sit down and think about this? So please, how do you people come up with your policies? How do you pass these policies? How do you check the people you are passing the policies about? Wait, if these policies would actually benefit them or be a disadvantage to them, what's the process like? Take us through, please.
Well, let me say that any policy that you see, or law, bill, or motion, I want to say categorically, they are always properly thought through.
Okay.
You know, and I will use
all of them.
I will say they are all properly thought through.
Okay.
Right? And I'll use my committee as an example.
Okay.
So for me, even for all of the things that I've said, trust me, it's not my singular work. But again, of course, you have a committee. So I chair the committee on banking, insurance, and other financial institutions. We're about 41 there. So you can imagine, even before
41 brains.
Yeah, exactly. So before I even present anything for the first reading, you know, I probably will have carried my
consulted them.
Exactly.
Is there a woman in that committee?
Of course.
There are women.
All of the women that are in the Senate, they're in that committee.
There are only 3 women.
They are in the committee.
In fact, there are only 2 because they are all
in the committee. And you see, to tell you the thoroughness, you know, any bill will go through a first reading, will come for a lead debate, and go for public hearing. At the public hearing stage, you invite outsiders.
We don't hear.
We don't hear.
You
choose what you want to hear.
Put your ears down.
You choose what you want to hear. No.
Where?
You choose what you want
Do you
to hear.
just announce in the papers?
What I'm going to do, when we are doing the public hearing on Ponzi scheme, the investigative hearing, I would make sure that a formal letter is sent.
Yes, the ladies of your view.
Yes,
somebody said here that that's read one. Yes, he said that Ibeju Lekki project is massive. That's what he's saying. So you know, we've had a lot of times that a lot of people will come and say a lot of things. You know, we talk plenty, and for us to believe. You know, we hardly believe.
We hardly see evidence.
We hardly see evidence.
So this one has evidence.
Yeah. So what I'm just going to ask is this: that what are the other like, do you guys do checks and balances on other senators when they don't do their own? Because you are delivering your own, you know, points and everything. But what about the other senators? Is there any checks and balances that's happening? Yes, in the House there.
Of course. Well, number one, let me make bold to say that all senators are equal. Yes, we're all equal, including the president of the Senate and the presiding officers.
Can I read some messages to you?
Yes.
Moses Oluwakemi says, thank you, Senator Tokunbo Abiru, for the good work. God bless you, sir. Grace Naji says, thank you for not diverting public funds, but using it for the whole nation.
That's amazing. Please, let's clap.
Let's clap. These 2 messages.
Yeah, let's clap. Let's clap.
So you were answering.
So you're answering that question, the checks and balances.
You know, so we tend to lean on one another, you understand, and that's the beauty of the committee work. So you probably don't bring anything to the surface without also discussing with your colleagues.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know, nobody is perfect. There can be some cases of, you know, some slips once in a while. Yeah, it's human.
Do you also advise your colleagues?
Yeah, so we all, of course. So in the process, the collegiate system allows for, you know, yes, and of course for comparison and all of that. Some of my colleagues too have been to this innovation lab and with very commendable comments and also encouraging others to come and all of that. So that's the whole idea of the collegiate
system.
Senator,
another question before we go. We are wrapping up. How intense or how hectic is your job of sitting down to come up with these policies? Because we, majority of the people, are of the opinion that you guys should work, have your professional, you know, jobs, and then, you know, come in, sit as a form of volunteer to the nation so we can cut costs. But tell us, how hectic realistic do you think it is? And does it make sense that you guys can go back to your work and then come in from time to time to make policies? Just help us out.
I mean, you can, I mean, if you also just take a very simple example as to what I've told you I've been able to do, you can also realize that it will require a lot of thinking, planning, shuttling, because most of the things I do in my district, they are here in Lagos while I sit in Abuja. So you can imagine. So it's quite, for me, engaging, and also requires a lot of, you know, personal commitment to the cause that you have chosen to do. That's the way I like to describe.
So it's intense. You would not, if you were doing, maybe if you were working in the bank, for instance, and having to volunteer as a senator, you will not have time to do the Senate's work very well.
Banking too is very intense. I mean, I took banking to the, my banking career was to the top, so it was quite intense. So, and I also think my background again also is part of what has kind of adapted me to this kind of situation. So I can cope.
You can cope, right?
Yes.
You're so truthful. That's the senator after our own heart. Yes. Thank you so much.
I'm trying to Google it now. There's no time. There was one senator that sponsored one bill one time. We were all up in arms like, what are you talking about? Exactly. And I wish I could remember that bill.
Thank God you don't remember today. But thank you so much for joining us, Senator Tokunbo Abiru, representing Lagos East Senatorial District and serving as chairman of the Senate Committee on Banking, Insurance, and other financial institutions.
Thank you very much.
We had a lovely time.
Yes,
we wish you all the best in your endeavors. We're happy that you are a man after our hearts. You know, not just taking the resources, but using it to better the lives of people in your constituents. And I wish I was in your constituent too, so that you know I can partake.
For his children.
Legacy. This is legacy, and this is what we want to see many of our leaders do. Where it's not just about me. It's about how do we empower the people around us. Thank you so much, ladies, for your contributions. Thank you, YK! In the building! Sunshine! Yes, please, those today. There's no time.
So much,
That's all we can take on the show today. Thank you, YK. We have to go.
Thank you very much.
That's all we can take on the show today.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you again tomorrow.
But I'm also extending my